What's good, y'all? It's Solution back at it with another YouTube video. I'm saying that acting like I've not posted in the past 3 to 4 months, which is my fault. I know you guys have been dying for me to make another vid. Maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, so obviously I haven't posted in the past 3 to 4 months, but it's all been in good taste. And what I mean by that is because over the past few months, I've been working on this thing with my homie called the Mental Gym, which is what I was thinking. I'm like, how can I teach guys skills or mental techniques that I would believe every guy needs to have in order to achieve their goals, right? And at least what I've noticed, in some shape or form, every guy who has become successful, achieved material success or whatever success they are after, they've mastered at least one or if not a few of these techniques in order to achieve the goals that they are after. So I was like, okay, that's cool, but I feel like a lot of people don't have it conceptualized. It's some assumed skill or assumed knowledge, but these things aren't really defined. You just expect to know them. It's kind of confusing. So I was like, look, I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna make the skills. I'm gonna break it down and make sure it's a hard lock technique that is 100% timeless and will always pretty much work for you for the rest of your life. So yeah. So basically, over the next few videos that I'm gonna be dropping, because obviously I'm gonna get back to being consistent, which is gonna be lit. I'm going to be talking to you guys about these techniques and help you learn them and apply them to your own life and just generally become lit and achieve all the goals that you want. So the first one we're going to talk about today is the value circle. Obviously, you've seen, I pretty much already started writing it on the board. So let's just get right into it. So real quick, basically, the value circle is people who help you achieve your goals indirectly or directly. As a disclaimer, man, please ignore my handwriting. I know it's not that good right now, but over time, I'm gonna start getting colder with it. So just want to say that. But so basically we have the value circle. And so I think this is extremely important. You have probably heard this already before, but you want to have people around you who are helping you achieve your goals indirectly or directly. And I know this seems kind of obvious, but a lot of people don't do it. A lot of you guys right now, and most of you guys I'm talking to are probably late teens, early 20s, right? A lot of you guys have friends or people in your life who are not doing either of these things. In fact, they're doing the quite opposite. They are actually distracting you from what you're supposed to be doing to achieve your goals, which is literally crazy to me that we keep these people around. I've obviously been a victim of this. We keep these people around who are not even helping us achieve our goals. So one of the first things a lot of you guys probably need to do is make sure your environment is set up in a way that is actually going to achieve your goals. But I want to dive deeper into this to make sure you guys kind of understand what this should look like, right? So basically, right now, you want to start taking away people who are distracting you and adding people into your life who are actually going to help you achieve your goals. And you need to have a process in which you do this, right? Because you can't just be like, okay, I'm gonna take out this dude in my life right now who's not really helping me out and just add in another person just to add a body, right? You wanna actually have a way that you are looking for these people, right? So basically, I've come up with about three ways that you can identify these people and know, okay, this is someone I can add in my value circle. But first, one of the important things you need to understand is what it looks like. Because obviously I've said indirectly or directly, meaning there's people who might not give you the exact thing that you need to achieve your goals, but they're doing something that can help you achieve the goal regardless. For example, an indirect person that could be in your value circle is your parents. Because your parents do what? Well, I would hope. Maybe some of you guys don't, but your parents help you financially. They support your goals financially, whether you want to go to college, you want to be a professional athlete, you want to be a YouTuber, Twitch streamer, whatever the goal is, they could give you money that can help you achieve that goal. But they're not going to give you, let me even break it down for you. So basically there's two versions of this, and indirect tends to be in the support role. So, support. So basically, indirect are the people who are in a supporting role. These are the people who are not necessarily helping you directly, but they are giving you some form of support. And that support can be financial, for example, right? And another version of this can also be accountability, which I will get into when I talk about the 3 people that you would want to look like to add into your value circle. right? So, but basically, indirect tends to be support. And then we have direct, which will be knowledge. Wow, that looks beautiful. Anyway, that looks beautiful. Anyway, so you have knowledge. So these are people who know things that you don't know, because one of the biggest reasons why many of us don't achieve our goals or haven't achieved our goals is simply because we don't know what we're doing. Like, we don't know what we're doing. Like, we're just kind of like free balling it, making mistakes, doing all those kind of things. But obviously what could shortcut or get us to our goals faster is knowing things. And knowing can be like knowledge. Again, no, obviously knowing is knowledge, but knowing could be like skills or beliefs that you might need to have, like knowing about skills or beliefs, or gaining the knowledge about skills that you need to acquire, or gaining the beliefs you need or the things you need to believe to achieve whatever goal you are after. So basically, you have your support and your knowledge. I just wanted to give you guys kind of that context so you kind of understand what I mean by indirect and direct. So now we can get into basically the three people you kind of want to be looking at when it comes to your value circle, or adding people into your value circle, right? So basically, the first one that you would probably want to be looking at is people who have achieved what you want, right? You want to have people who have achieved whatever goal you want. You want to go and listen to those people. Why? Because they've achieved the goal you want. And because they've achieved your goal you want, they do what? They can give you knowledge that you need. So basically, when I have people have achieved what you want. Yeah, you guys will get it. So basically, that's the first person that you kind of want to have. And an interesting thing that I also want to say about that is that people who have achieved what you want are not always people you know. Because there's people who've probably achieved your goals, achieved something that you want. Let's say you're a soccer player and you want to become a professional soccer player. You could be like, well, I want Ronaldo to be in my value circle, right? Because he's achieved what you want. The thing is, you just don't have access to him, right? And because of that, you don't have access to his knowledge, which is the problem, right? But obviously, thank God, due to social media and YouTube and all these other things, there's people out here who are giving away their knowledge who've already achieved the goal, right? And obviously, you can take me, for example. I've achieved the goal of basically learning about all these different techniques that I'm going to be teaching you about and implementing them in my own life from my own experiences to now teach you. Obviously, you could be like, oh, well, I don't know. Obviously, I just make these videos because I believe that if you try out these techniques and use them in your own life, I promise you, you will get the things that you want. And you should, if you don't want to believe me, obviously go try it for yourself. See, you're like, oh my God, the solution is actually a genius. This works. But anyway, that's all besides the point. Just, want to give that disclaimer. So yeah, essentially, people who have achieved what you want. You want to find these people, and specifically, you want to find them where they are giving knowledge, whether that be YouTube, whatever your goal you want to achieve. Just find a way to learn from someone who has achieved what you want. That is a prime person you can add to your value circle, and no, you do not need to know them personally. As long as you know they've achieved what you want and you can find the knowledge that they are giving, they can be in your value circle. So that's a really, really great one. So for some of us though, you might have people who have achieved what you want and know them, but they're not really giving you the knowledge that you need, right? And you might not be lacking that. Obviously, you should continue to look until you find that, but you can add other types of people to your value circle. As I said, there was 3 that can also help you. And instead of the knowledge role, they can fill another support role. As I've said, there could be people, as they can fill a support role, as I've said, like parents and stuff. But now we can kind of talk about, hold on, let me draw that line there. People who have the same goal as you, you want to add those kind of people to your value circle as well. People, basically, essentially people who are looking to achieve the same goal as you. You want to add those people into your value circle. Why? Because they can fill in the support role. And by support, I mean accountability. Essentially, let's say you want to be a professional football player, right? And obviously you have to train yeah, obviously you have to train. You have to train, do the work that you need to do to improve as a football player. So if somebody has the same goal as you, what they can now act as is that support, that accountability. When you don't want to train, you don't feel like it, you're not being disciplined or whatever, which is something we're going to talk about in the future. You're not being disciplined or whatever. That person you have now added in can help you. They can be like, hey man, nah, bro, what do you mean? We gotta go train, bro. You're not trying to go pro. Like, what's going on? We gotta go train, right? So then you're like, oh, yeah, true, man. I do gotta go train. And then boom, you now go do or go put in the work that you otherwise wouldn't have if that person wasn't there. So now they are in your value circle because in an indirect way, they might not get. Well, I mean, that's actually, I would say, even more kind of direct in a way, but in an indirect way, they might not have the knowledge necessarily. Like, they might not know exactly what needs to be known, but they are helping you they are supporting you in the form of accountability to achieve your goals. So that person is 100% someone who could be in your value circle, right? Like, that definitely falls into the definition. So good. So the second one is people who want to achieve the same thing as you. That is another person who you can then add to your value circle to achieve your goals. So last but not least, this is the best essential version of person that you want to have in your value circle, but generally speaking, the hardest to get. So usually most of us, we're going to be playing in this category, to be honest. Like, we're just going to have to find people who've achieved what I want and then try to get knowledge from them, right? You just try to get knowledge from them. And then we're going to have people who want to achieve the same things as us. Because most of us have some people around us who want to do the same thing, be a professional athlete, be a doctor, be an astronaut, whatever. We have people who can find who want to achieve the same things as us. But the last one, which is the best one, is basically a mix of these two, essentially. And they can almost act as knowledge and support, which is crazy. Now it's like the definition just on like steroids. Now you have like knowledge and support. And so what this is basically people who have achieved what you want and you can work with them. I'll give you an example so it makes sense. Let's say you want to be a plumber, for example. You can have someone who has got to the level of plumbing or as a plumber in your family, for example. And then you could go up to that uncle and be like, hey, yo, uncle, I'm gonna be honest, I'm trying to become a plumber. Do you think I could work with you on a job, see what you do? And he's like, oh yeah, for sure. So boom, now you have someone who you can keep you accountable, right? Because essentially this is your uncle too, bro. So I would assume he can keep you accountable. You have someone who can support you, right? Because they can keep you accountable. You be on the job, you're like, nope, can't do it that way. Nope, you should do it this way. Like, hey, we got to go out. Like, you know what I'm saying? He'll keep you accountable because he knows what your goal is and he's your uncle. And then he can also give you knowledge because he's achieved what you want, which makes the knowledge way more credible because he's achieved what you want. Obviously, as a disclaimer, he should be at the plumbing level that you want to reach. Meaning, and even if he's not, that's not a bad thing because you can still learn from him up to a certain point. And then when you feel like you've learned everything you can from him, then you know, okay, I have to add someone new to my value circle, which is what I'm going to talk about in a second as well. But essentially, if you can, you either get people who have achieved what you want, or you find a way to. Now, I'm not even going to say if you can. Like, you need to find a way to get these people because it is what's going to 10 times all of your growth in achieving, or 10 times the speed at which you achieve whatever goals you want to achieve. So basically, you want to get people that have achieved what you want, for sure. Either find them online, whatever you got to do, achieve what you want, and are giving out knowledge. And if you don't have that, or you have this already and you want to even boost even more your speed, you want to find that support, meaning the people who want to achieve the same things as you, that can afford to keep you accountable, you can bounce ideas off of, because, obviously, even the people that you learn from, if you don't have direct access to them on a personal level, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to like talk to them about specific situations you might be going through. But once again, if you have someone who wants to achieve the same thing as you, and you're working with them, obviously they'll be able to keep you accountable and support you for little minute issues that you have on the way to your goals. And then last one, but not least, you then want to, if you can find them, because it is difficult, but 100% it is worth it to search people who have achieved what you want. So people who have achieved what you want. And you can work with them directly. Like, that is literally that's like the greatest people that will be in your value circle. If you can find them, that's who you want to be able to work with, right? So cool. So with that being said, I also want to add at the end of this, obviously these are the ways that you want to add people into your value circle, but what you also have to consider is that these people might not be able to stay in your value circle forever. You're not always going to have the same goals, right? Because your goals could change. You might want to be a professional athlete today, and then you want to be an astronaut tomorrow. I'm not saying you should do it like that, obviously. But I'm saying is your goals can change, or you could achieve your goal, and then the people who are in your value circle, they don't really need to be there anymore. Unless they can act as a supporting role in some shape or form, they just might not be able to help you anymore, right? Because you might actually just hold yourself accountable, so you don't need that support. That makes sense, right? Like, or you know everything you need to know because you've achieved your goal, so you don't really need knowledge from that person. So basically what you want to do is when someone is no longer adding that value, right, and no longer can give you knowledge or the support that you need, then that is someone who no longer needs to be in your value circle. As I'm going back to the start of this video, pretty much, when I was speaking on how many of you guys right now have people who should not be in your value circle because they don't do what? They do not help you achieve your goals indirectly or directly. They do not support you. They do not have knowledge that you want or have. So obviously you cannot listen to these people anymore. Or you should not have these people around because they can only serve to distract you. So that is a big thing. I think most of you guys should honestly start there. Look at your current friend group, family, or whatever, and think to yourself, are these people helping me achieve my goals indirectly? Are they giving me support? Are they keeping me accountable? Are they giving me financial support? Are they, some of you guys, because I got nothing against it, some of you guys might need therapists. So to help you stay focused on your goals. So people like that, you might have to pay for stuff like that. But point is, are these people supporting me right now? Or are they giving me knowledge that I need? Can they teach me how to be a millionaire? Can they teach me how to be a professional soccer player? Can they teach me how to be a doctor? Do they know anything about being a doctor? Can they teach me about specifically how to be an eye surgeon? You know what I'm saying? All these different things that you need to make sure that, are they doing any of these things? But most of you, based off what I've already just said, have people around you who are not doing these things. Because one of the most things about a value circle is just making sure you don't have the wrong people there. Just don't have the wrong people. Because then when you don't have the wrong people, at least you put yourself in a position where you are free in your mind, you have peace of mind, and you can at least solve your problems your own way. But obviously, the goal should be to implement these things by finding the people who can actually be in your value circle first, by using this framework, like people who have achieved what you want, or people who have achieved the same things, or people who have achieved what you want and you can work with them. They can give you the support, they can give you the knowledge. That's essentially the biggest thing that you want to do. So yeah, guys, if you can add this and implement this to your life, you can use this framework. You can call it the value circle, whatever you need, my friend group, whatever it is. You can use it in this way. And I really think if you get the right people in your value circle, your life becomes super lit. Because achieving your goals is like clockwork. You're like, dang, I'm learning so much. I'm doing so much. It's just really exciting. And I know you guys, a lot of you guys are out there. You're ambitious. You want to achieve your goals no matter what. And you might feel in a position where you're kind of stuck, but if you can find these kind of people, it's going to be work. Like with anything is, a big thing about my channel is always going to be, bro, you got to go super hard. You got to go as hard as possible. But what you do, with the right knowledge, of course, right? With the right knowledge, go super hard. as you possibly can. Achieving your goals is going to be like clockwork. So yeah, man. So love y'all. This is the first of many videos to come. Obviously, the improvements are going to be made with my handwriting and stuff like that. But nah, it's really lit. I'm happy to be back on YouTube. And yeah, for sure. So I'm going to catch you guys in the next video. Peace.